All right, guys, so let's pick up here with part 3 of building Tic Tac Toe. All right, so last part we just kind of talked about the kind of the combinations and how we're going to determine a winner. So again, just to review that again, we've got this for loop that we created for combination and winning combination. And again, combination is going to loop through all these winning combinations to find the one that is the winner. All right, so again, if 0, 1, 2 again is the combination, it's going to check spot 0, spot 1, and spot 2, and if those are all 1s, you have a winner. Remember, 1s or 2s are filling up the game board. So if it's still not clicking for you with that, maybe just call me over and we can talk a little more in class here. But what we're going to do in this step is we're going to go ahead and basically work on letting the user know, what the winning letter was, X or O, and how we're going to do that. Okay, so let's do this here. All right, so so first thing we're going to do is let's go up to the top here to kind of our variables and outlets and everything, and we're going to create a variable that's going to create a variable to make the game active. So basically, there's going to be points where the game's active, where you can put change the board, and when it's inactive. So once the user wins a game, it'd be inactive. Okay, so let's create a variable called var game is active. Let's just set that equal to true. Okay, so we'll start it in the active state here, and we'll play around with that later as we go. Okay, so let's go ahead here and in terms of again, setting it, when a game is won or lost here, we've got some different things to move forward here. So we're going to go ahead though back down to our combination and winning combination section here. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to, as we're looping through the combinations, what happens when we find the one? When combination lands on a winning one, we got to get it set up here so the user knows that. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to do some if statements. So let's go ahead and type these out here. So we're going to go if game state, okay, combination. So this is going to be similar to, actually no, we haven't done this yet. So if game state combination, and we're just going to pick, we're going to first look at the first element of that array. Okay, so again, we're basically, so again, if 0, 1, 2 is the combination, okay, all right, we're going to be looking at, we're just going to focus on this first one. Okay, so we're going to look into the game state just to make sure first that's not 0. Okay, because if it's 0, that'd cause some problems. So we're going to say if game state combination is not equal to 0, okay, that's the first thing we need to check. Okay, and all right, so we're going to be doing a couple comparisons here. Okay, so now we're going to be comparing, again, is the first part equal to the second one? All right, and then is the second part equal to the third? So we're going to look to make sure that these 3 spots in the array, all right, 1, 2, and 3 are all 1s or all 2s. Okay, so to do that, we just have to type this out. So game state combination. Okay, and then we'll put 0. So we're going to look at the first item of the array. If that's the same of game state, all right, combination 1. Okay, and we got to do one more check. All right, and then we're going to say if game state combination 1. Okay, we got to check to see if that's the same thing as the second item in there. Let's go ahead and type that out. Okay. So there's our initial if statement. So again, it says if game state combination 0. So first we're going to make sure that the first number in the combination array is not 0. If it's not, we're good. Then we're going to check to see if if the first 2 elements are the same. Then we're going to check that if the next 2 are the same. If they are, we've got ourselves a winner. Okay, so then we got to talk about what do we do. So again, just to make sure we're good here. So game state combination 0. So what that's looking at here. So again, we've looped through combination. So the combination, let's say that is a winner, is 0, 1, 2. Okay, so that's the combination that's 1. So combination 0, okay, is looking at this first 0 right here. And it's going to check, okay, it's a 1. Combination 1 is this next number right here. It's going to check that number. Okay, and then combination 2, okay, is this third one. Okay, so again, because it's spot 0, 1, 2, and it's looking at those 3 spots in game state. If those are all 1s, that means we win. Okay, so if that's the case, okay, we're going to go ahead and let's see here. So once we get that, we're going to say game is active is equal to false. All right, so we don't want them to be able to play anymore. Okay, and then we're going to do, we got to determine, what was the number. Is it a 1 or is it a 2? Is it an X or is it an O? Because remember from our earlier steps here, okay, we said 1 was the X. Okay, like right here, 1's X, and 2 is O. Okay, so we got to do an if statement within 1 here. So as you look at our code, again, we did our initial if statement. Here's our curly braces. Okay, so make sure we're inside the curly braces for this if statement. So right below game is active is false. I'm just going to line this up here just so it's nice and organized here. If game state, all right, combination. So we're just going to look at the first number in that array. So if that first number is 1, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to print out a winner. So we'll say print. We'll just do a print statement right now. X has 1. Okay. Else, we'll just go ahead and print this out for now and say O has 1. Okay. Let me just get rid of an extra parenthesis here. Let me get rid of that for you. All right. So go ahead and just get your code to match up to that. Okay. So right now we've got the again. We've determined a winner. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this here. So again, we're just picking the first one in that array. So again, combination. So let's say it was 6, 7, 8 was the combination that won. So it was combination in winning combination. So 6, 7, 8 is one in. So we're going to check the first number of this array here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to look at that. So that is what combination 0 is, this number. So if that number is 1, that means X is 1. If it's not, the only other alternative is that O has 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a run, see how this works here, just to show you in action. All right, and then we'll stop this video, and then the next video we'll talk about just displaying that on the screen, because print statements are good for checking, but we just want to make sure we have everything set up here. Okay, so we'll let this load up here. As that's loading up, I'm just going to update a couple things here. Okay. Actually, while that is doing that, here's one thing we can add. So we're going to go to our button press function from earlier. And we want to, actually it's going to load up. So hold that thought. So here is our screen. Actually, I'm going to bring Xcode up here because we need to see the print line. So I'm going to get both screens rocking and rolling here. Where's my simulator at? There it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and play a game here. Okay. So we're going to go, so as you can see, my game state's printing up. X, and then we get an X here. So you can see X has 1. All right, notice how the game states are showing up here. All right, so the spot that the combination that won was 1, 4, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so as you look at that, you can kind of see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7 again. The reason why we're not seeing the next game state is because X has 1. But again, it was checking those combinations and found 3 1s in a row. That's why we got X as the winner. Okay, so we can see it's working, so that's pretty good. All right, so we're in a good spot. So obviously the next thing we're going to do is get that to show up on the screen. But before we do that, let's just add one more thing here. So what we're going to check here, so before a game could even start, so let's go back to our button press function. If game state center.tag, so we were checking to make sure that it was a 0. We're also going to make sure that game is active is equal to true. All right, and that'll come into play here later on as we start kind of going between true and false. But for right now, we're going to set that to true. Because right now, game is active as false once we find a winner. In the next couple videos, we'll talk about resetting that, but we'll just go ahead and add that line of code now for me. All right, just so we're good to go. All right, so I'm going to stop this video here. So that's part 3 in the book. So if you have questions, let me know. All right, but next thing is we're just going to add some labels to our storyboard so we can say who won and present that to them here. All right, so good job with this video, and we'll see you in the next one.